I have a very interesting ticket that I received just recently. It is a ticket for space travel, a trip to the moon. And this first ticket is good for travel from the Earth to a space platform, which is scheduled to be about 1,200 miles out from the Earth. And then the second ticket is supposed to take me from this space platform by another rocket to the moon. At least that is what it says here.
And there it is. The hatch opened 10:25 a.m. Central, 11:25 a.m. Eastern, on board the International Space Station.
Hello and welcome to Mission 51-52 crew arriving at the International Space Station. Recent criticism that NASA never shows an actual docking at the International Space Station might have prompted this pathetic effort. Actual docking footage is till this day only available as a CGI simulation, as you can see here. Or we are treated to unreal cartoon-like visions of a futuristic space station, the likes of which in all probability will never be seen other than in Hollywood indoctrination propaganda films presented as entertainment. Now here we still don't get to see the actual docking, but are served up this crew arrival instead. It has three parts. First, we see the supposed spaceman entering through a fancy-looking round hatch, being greeted by the other spacemen supposedly already on this spaceship. Then there's an intermission, and as first order of the day, these fearless space explorers, new arrivals, have nothing more important to do than to engage in a video conference call with their families back on Mother Earth, to make sure everybody believes this charade is real. We shall have a close look step by step at what really goes on here. During the first 45 seconds, we see a series of volleys, what appear to be camera flashes. I took single frame shots at 1/24th of a second each of these flashes, which seem to be a cover-up for the multiple layers employed in this production of an obviously corrupted video footage. Notice how at a closer look the flash is cut clear throughout the picture at different heights and levels. And this is where things start to get interesting. As another space monkey is making his entrance, there's another bunch of flashes coming, very strong. So once they got this guy through, something funny happens. Flasher number one from the back is handing over a camera to flasher number two, who just holds up basically the camera. He's not even looking through a viewfinder or nothing, he's just making sure there's a lot of flashing going on. So now he's actually looking, and the funny thing on top of it is that he's flashing to the back. Now he just quickly looked to the front where there was supposed to be an entrance. Now he's handing the camera back. Now the next space monkey is coming in, and guess what? From the back we have another volley of flashes. Now why did flasher number two not take pictures of this old man coming in? Because he had a much better vantage point. So as soon as he's finished flashing, he's looking back, he's giving back the camera, he's looking back again, making sure, and now as if on cue, the old man is coming in, because now the flash is back where it belongs, to cover up whatever malfeasance is going on there. And when we examine this last intense volley of flashes, we find a really strange photographic anomaly. This frame appears to be consisting of three different images. It even features a black bar separating the lower third. As the opening segment draws to an end, we get a bit of a close-up of flasher number two, who looks like he just came from the spa, brand new suit and all. In comparison, this is reminiscent of old World War II movies, where U-boat crews always looked clean and dapper, depicted in true Hollywood reality fashion. I always had wondered how the space monkeys on the ISS managed to have such clean looks and attire when water was so precious they had to recycle their own urine, as they demonstrated for us so many times.
We even recycle our urine. We even recycle our urine.
That is Chris Hadfield, a Canadian astronaut. And since we got him here, well, Chris, why don't you explain to us something that I've been wanting to know for a long time?
During a space flight is re-entering into the atmosphere. And as you come into the air and it slows you down, you can have a force that is many times the normal force of gravity on your body. 4 times is a typical level, but it can easily be 8 times or even more. 8 times your own weight pushing you down. And you need to be able to understand how that feels on your body and whether you're going to be able to work in that environment.
Taking that into consideration, I needed to take another look at this old man who came in last year. And if I look at him, I mean, he's not that young, or he is rather old. To believe that this old man would be able to work under conditions where 8 times the weight, his own weight, is pushing down on him, seeing that he is slightly obese and way past his prime. I can't even believe that this guy would be an astronaut. If I think back of the first astronauts they had, like John Glenn, these guys used to be test pilots who used to be in the best physical shape that you could be. Now let's take another look. Here they're setting up for the conference call. Let's have another close look at the old granddaddy here. And you tell me that this guy is an astronaut. He looks like a guy who would be asking his grandkids to go and find the remote control for the TV for him. Alright, so now they got all the space monkeys together in one room. The new arrivals will proceed for a video conference with their loved ones to tell them, well, hey, we're actually really in space. When I watched this, I couldn't help but noticing a few things which I decided to share, as I was wondering, where is this garage? First up are these AC vents on top there. I mean, what is this? Artificial wood imitation? That looks like something from the 70s, the 1970s, decidedly, but still. Then in the center we have these, what is that? It looks like a really old breaker box that I have at my house, which is like easily 50 years or older. And you're telling me that this is a space station, a spaceship flying through space at 17,500 miles per hour. Are you kidding me? Now, next up are these panels there. This looks like real cheap paneling. It doesn't even look like a solid structure. It looks like a temporary structure. And next are these pictures in the back. What the heck is wrong with these things in the back? Who is hanging up pictures like that in the back there? It's like somebody put something on his fridge, and then what kind of pictures are these? We're looking at the one on the left. It looks like a real old picture. Who is this? Adam Weishaupt? Georges Lemaitre? What a sad state of affairs. I can only recommend that anybody who believes that this was filmed aboard a spaceship traveling at 17,500 miles an hour should be awarded a one-way ticket to Disneyland, never to return to modern society. And it seems that even the phony astronauts in this cheap fakery felt the need to lie to their own families to make sure that they actually believe that these guys are somewhere in space. It is laughable. It's a joke. Just listen to this and think and look at it and just look right through this charade. It's ridiculous.
Hey, Jack, bud, we're so proud of you. After dreaming for something so long, it sure is neat to see you finally get to the station.
And now that they're floating in cool orientations, you actually believe we're in space. You actually believe we're in space. We're in space.
We're right in the middle of the entire Japanese Imperial Fleet.
We're in space.
We're right in the middle of the entire Japanese Imperial Fleet.
We're